Welcome back to Factorio MSX Gigabase. Last time we finished off our Science Ghost build, so it's time to get it built. And to that end, actually let's do it in map view. Map view should be able to handle this. Oh, actually, it probably can't. Alright, we'll do it the way we were going to do it, and run and drag. I have absolutely no idea how many things are actually here. I can only make a wild estimation. What are we up to? 1.7 beacons. Well, it's not picking up the numbers of modules, which is going to make this task a little challenging. So that's the science labs part. And finally, red science. Let's just do that. Oh, of course you're saving your autosave. Okay, I'll put that there. I'll just put some science beacons in there so that it's obvious for me. There we go. And right, now we are going to go to the supply station, and we will have to estimate modules, but the interesting thing is the number of modules that we'll need for this are all but certain to kick off module production again, I would suggest. So the base will get a few things to do. If UPS does go over or under 60, it could be I am actually doing an upload at the same time right now. Let's just have a quick look at what the module supply at the Make Everything actually is at the moment. 7,000 and 15,000. Well, it will only be the reorder points that it gets below, but that's okay. Oh, it actually has picked up modules. So, 9,900. 6,400 rail. We probably do need some of that rail. I'm going to get 4,000 rail. We'll be doing a bit of the rail, or we have been doing some of the rail ourselves. So 5,000 beacons. 2,300 productivity modules, 2,000 stack inserters, 1,300 passive providers, 1,200. If you're wondering why I am going over the amount, it's because the computer is rounding the numbers. So 1.1000 could be 1199, or it could be 1100, so I just rounded up to the next 100. 513 assembly machines. I'm going to make that 520 just in case we're short. 400 blue inserters for a very similar reason. Because these numbers it is actually giving me exact amounts on. We'll do 400 of those. 350 of these, and I'm going to be very thankful for the change we made a few episodes ago. 256 labs. That stops the supply train from congesting. Signals, yeah. I might just get 100 because we've probably covered it fairly well. 100 medium poles. 82. Now we probably do need a few combinators because I probably haven't increased the engineering loadout for the way that I now do trains. So it certainly can't hurt. We're almost out of space. In fact, we are out of space. Let's just order that up. That means that we don't have lamps. Are there train counters? Train publishers. We'll be making them anyway, so that is fine. Yeah, this should be fun for the main base here. It hasn't made any orders yet. As far as I can tell. Interesting. So I guess we do actually have enough modules there, surprisingly enough, but it must have had to deliver modules fairly recently, so their supply is going to be shattered by the time this is done. I wonder what the supply train is actually going to bring first. It looks like it's some of the inserters. We can leave it to it. What we are going to do is I need a fuel stop. I guess more or less in line with that one. I don't need that anymore. And there's no radar there, so that's no good. Oh no, I can see all of this one. So that's my fuel stop. If I have that there, it implies we have to kind of snake back. I need some rail. And I guess there's nothing actually wrong with having to snake back. There we go. And the lower part needs to connect in as well. Is that it? I think so. We need our bots. Play this out. So So the idea is the science trains that are part of this don't have any train stations. The science trains that are part of this will be in a closed system, so they need fuel to be delivered to them. That's what we're doing here right now. So, at these stations, I'm not going to need that again. We basically need to create the stops that I can't see there. We just need the positioning of those guys. Like so. Well, at least I might need you, but I can't use you, so... Yep, they're requesting fuel, that's good. Let's get these bits as well. And we will need this covered by a roboport. One there. One there. Quite get the lot in. Well, that's okay. We'll do it. We will do it like so. 50 of those should suffice. Now, power. Where is some live power? Are you actually live? No. Okay, you guys. You have power. Okay. You have power as well. Good. We will take power from... Ooh. Oh, that must be the first supply train. Here we go. Be careful. Are you seriously out of range? No. Just not powered by that guy. Okay. This is why I moved to these fellows. Alright, we'll have to see if we can find some of them. I don't actually think I'm carrying them on the train. But you never know, they might be... Well, stop doing that, guys. They might be in here. Yes. They are, as a matter of fact. There we go. So, oh, I've got 50 of them. If we apply... Do they fit up here? You do. Two like that. That should power up all of that end. Now down the other end. Okay, same deal then. There we go. So, fuel. You guys, oh, you're not powered. Okay. You are the Science West refuel. Well, actually, I should call it Refuel Science West, so I can find all of the refuels in the same spot. Refuel Science West. We need to... What's that? Arithmetic and decider. I have a decider. Do I have any arithmetics? It doesn't look like it. They're bound to be on the train, though. But yeah, as you can see, it's not that many arithmetics, and I'm probably using a lot more arithmetics than any other type just at the moment due to the publish subscribe system. So let's just produce those. Now we need a train counter and a train publisher. Oh, we can't insert. Okay. There we go. These are not powered. Now we need one of these so that we can conveniently read the network. Read train contents. Right, what do you set up as? -1 times t. Output p. Okay, that's probably not how I wanted this to go down. If they're less than 1, then output a p. We've got a p, good. Where exactly? -1 times t is p, so that'll give you a minus p. Okay, so if there's a train there, it won't order another. Oops. our priority is rocket fuel, which is the rocket fuel symbol. There we go. I believe one has been ordered. So that will take care of west. Now we need east. It's giving me stuff. How is this going? So we haven't ordered any, we haven't picked up any of the big ticket items yet. From the looks of things, it's just the riff-raff stuff, which is fine. Everyone needs a little bit of riff-raff. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll extend this out and we will slap down the fueling station facing the other direction this time, and about here. And these ones like so. A little bit more compact on this side. Let us just use a double length. Get out of the immediate area here, and then basically we want to do that. That's what happens if you hold shift when you put rail down, as opposed to not holding it. Whoops, that's a combinator. We need signals, which we have none of. Are those my bots? Yes, they are. Thank you very much, bots. Right, have you delivered anything else since? No. We need some of those. Oh, we do have a few. Okay. So I want one of you and one of you. And you can be Refuel Science East. Okay. And now, of course, some of these fellows. Just need to ensure all that's actually covered, all of those, so that's good. And that will cover all of those. So that's good as well. They can have 50 bots. course this side is not working so well, so we'll just give them some of those fine fellows, and also over here. And that is fuel. No, it's not. We need to set up this part again. Basically exactly the same as the other side. We already have some of it set up. I need one of them and one of them. So that would be ordering a P. That looks correct. So all we need to do is add in, do that, which it is now done. So we'll get fuel here very, very soon. And that is, what's your problem? You don't reach. About now. Okay, that is fuel sorted. Has fuel come to the other side yet? Yes. Just need a radar now. Has another delivery been made? No. Well, let's get a radar down, because I like to see what's going on. Or anywhere in the factory. Should cover this general area quite well. We probably need to do the same at the other end. And I guess what I'm going to do is pause possibly until the supply train has turned up with some more goodies. I might just go and check what it is that is holding the supply train up. It might actually be on its way. Yes, it is on its way. There you go. Not sure what it's delivering. It might be beacons. Could be all sorts of things. We'll see very soon. Okay, well in that case, let's head back over here, get a radar. And yeah, let's place a radar down there. See what's on our supply train. The space is very big. It is actually possibly too big. I was expecting to need all of this for science, but I mean this is going to double, but still it's not that big, and this has pretty much allowed the space already. So yeah, I allowed oh, there's the fuel train, and there is these. Oh, it didn't actually deliver very much. It might have been roboports. We may have exhausted the supply of roboports, and there's a inactivity period. A wait to a certain inactivity period, so that might be what was going on. So what I'm going to do is wait until something useful's here to help build out probably some of the green science, and at that point I will go over there, let my bots do their thing. Yeah, let my bots do their thing and set up all the publishers and the correct names on these stations, and do the same to red hopefully as well, and that will actually kick off the action, but we'll pause until such time. So see you in a short bit. And back again. So we had a short wait on RoboPorts, but now there is a supply train on the way. It's coming down, I think that's Circuit Alley, loaded up with a bunch of goodies. Let's get ready for it. This time I am not going to deploy a bunch of what am I trying to say? I'm not going to deploy a bunch of fishies of RoboPorts so that everything's interconnected. I am instead, the devs seem to favour manual construction, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run backwards and forwards with a load of resources and work on the finer details of setting up the publishers and subscribers. So yeah, there you go, we've got a bunch of labs and all sorts of goodies. What I will do to start off with, I guess, is to create a request for... Oh, lab, what? Oh, okay. That's interesting. I think that's new. It's good though. Let's get all the labs. 256. Which seems amazingly small actually, but we are really ramping up how much we speed these labs up. Incidentally, you can see how much we've still got to go. That is a heap, 3,900 beacons, given they only stack to 10. That's 390 slots on a train. We'll probably have a couple of trips just delivering beacons. And how full are these? These are actually getting quite full, so we have to work on clearing these out as we go, otherwise we will run out of space. So how about I also get 200 beacons. What else do we have in here? A bit of rail wouldn't hurt. Whoops. Rail, not wooden poles. I think we're past the wooden poles. And just for good measure, we'll grab a few of those. Are my guys on? We're going to need this version of them. Just deploy all this stuff. It'll get more interesting when I'm basically not even focused on them building, but I'm focused instead on you know, getting these things right. I should actually be focused on getting these things right while I'm here, shouldn't I? These are totally wrong for science, especially this bottom one. Yeah, totally wrong. Because it won't be requested chests, they'll be going into passive supply chests, so I probably didn't even figure that one out right, but that's alright. Let's get this stuff out of our inventory first so that we can actually do a good job of clearing space for the supply train. I think it's going to be coming backwards and forwards fairly quickly now, so I'm not actually sure what happens if it tries to drop stuff off and it runs out of room. It hasn't been a problem up until making such a ridiculously large construction. Wow, half these bots are struggling to recharge now. I guess that makes sense, even though I'm moving slowly with the lower number of legs. We've only got 2 on, haven't we? Yes. Okay, let's come up here. More lab deployment. In a way, I probably should have left the labs to the end, but it's what got delivered first, so we may as well. make the most of it, and I'll have a sip on my coffee while we're at it. At least we all know that the capability is sitting there waiting for us to have it all active, and it's been a long hike, and even though we're not fully there in terms of our capacity to support the resource requirement of all these labs, the way we're building things will slowly result in them buffering up, and 33 labs too many. Did some not get placed? Yeah, our resources at the moment can't cope with the sheer number of labs that we have, but since everything buffers slowly and independently, we will probably find that we can run science for an hour or two at maximum capacity before our shortages start choking us. Wow, we seriously got over-delivered on labs, didn't we? Let's get off the track. Let's see what the supply train is up to. It looks like it's probably on its way back to us. No, it's still heading back. Yeah. Oh no, it must have delivered more. It must have delivered more beacons while we were doing that. But we've picked up a whole bunch of beacons, so actually, why don't I just say, give me 300 of those, and say 300 of those, and say 300 of those. That'll help use up some other things. Couple of hundred of those. Beacons, we could probably press up to 300. Supply the player with 10k items delivered by logistic bots. I'm pretty sure I've done that many times over. At least you guys got to see it. There's been a few of the ones that you've probably missed out on. Now, what... okay, so this bottom one is actually going to become space science, and this one is science from the east, and this is science from the west. So this is in the wrong place because the space science train is a lot smaller, but we should probably start working on the names for... oh, we're out of resources again. The names for these stations, so that they make a bit more sense, rather than random subscriber names. I should probably also... oh, weird, there's no room. I was going to say pick up a few robo ports, but there doesn't appear to be a lot of space for that. Never mind, we can come up here and, yeah, as I say, we'll leave that one, but this one is the first science stack, so this can be Science West 1 unload. Whoops, got that all wrong. Unload. And that would make this one over here Science West, Science East 1 unload. Now it's important to give them different names, because once the publisher has sent something here, the name of the station is important because it directs it to the specific station. So we need so that's why I'm giving them 1, 2, etc. So this is stack 2. So this will be the same name, but we will change that to a 2. And over at this end, same name, other than the fact that this is a 2. And then on up to the third stack. And this is how I am basically going to get the thing laid out. The bots are just going to run rampant around me while I attend to these little details. I don't know how far we're going to get because there are a huge number, well, there's a huge number of stuff to lay down. And there's an autosave. I've reduced it down to half an hour, so they shouldn't affect us too much anymore. Science East 3. And we're basically out of stuff, so let's come down and get some more. I might reduce these guys to 200. And you to 200 as well. Get the other things. How are we doing? 1.3. We may have had another delivery of them. Down here it might be getting a little bit tighter. That could cause our supply train some issues, but until the count is complete, it will keep going backwards and forwards even if it doesn't pick up new stuff. So eventually we will get to unload it all. So we've done 3, so we're up to 4. Science East 2 can become Science East 4. The final vanilla science stack. Oh, that one's not in radar. That's annoying. I don't think I can pick it up if it's not in radar. No, Science West 4. Alright, so we've renamed those stops. We're rapidly running out of beacon resources again. Just have a sip of my coffee. I'm obviously not going to get this whole thing done in one reasonable episode. So, we might just try and finish the science stack and give it a break there. Just because I think this is a fairly monumental thing. It's not just yet another outpost. It is the science stack. We've obviously got to come back with billions of modules as well to get this fully energized. If I come right down to the bottom, will it pick from the bottom ones? No. It's decided it wants to take them from the top, and there's nothing stopping it. Alright. Most of this is at the top now, so we need to get up there a bit faster. Alright, come on you. I'll change back if my battery seems to be getting hammered quite a bit, but if we're having to do quite a bit of travel for laying down these items, there's not that much bot charging while we are running backwards and forwards, so the batteries tend to recharge. Need more. What's going on here? Doesn't look like that connects, so I should fix that up. Yes, they have run down a bit, but by the time we've reloaded, we've got 1.8 thousand beacons here still. It doesn't take long, does it? I was going to say, by the time we've been refueled and I've got back up to the top, this might have recharged, but that doesn't actually look like it's going to be the case. But that's okay. That would seem to be all of the beacon requirements and all the labs laid down for science. We still have quite a lot to do in terms of setting up this stuff. But I guess what I will do now is lower beacons to 200. Whoops, we're already oh, here we go. And did it manage to unload? It did manage to unload everything. We might be having a problem supplying beacons now, actually, which is an interesting and possibly good problem to have. Let's get it 100, maybe 150, or just put down 200. It won't be able to. Whoops, 200. It won't be able to supply them all because we just don't have enough room, unless we. Not going to need that at the moment. 200 of these. We'll head over to the green science stack. Oh, come on, guys. How many of you are there? More up there. Alright, well, should only be 11 more. I think I've got 100 of those bots on me. Just wait a moment for them. Now, I don't really want to set up the publishers until we have the full moduled version, because, I mean, obviously there's not a lot of point until we get the full benefit of the productivity modules in particular, but also the speed modules. We're not learning anything as to our ability to supply or otherwise. There's yellow science. Let's come up here to green science. Our guys go to town. And as you can see, coming over here we got fully charged, so yeah, the faster legs are probably helping at the moment. Yes, if we are shy on the beacons, we've only got 30 on board. We're still trying to deliver 1.2, so we're going to have the same issue with beacons as we had with the robo ports in that we'll be waiting on slow deliveries of it, and I really don't want to turn on the interesting bits until, as I said, the modules are available. So I guess what that means is we'll finish laying down what we have here. I guess I'll make one more trip back to get more beacons, because there are enough beacons to fill this out, and probably to fill out red science. Let it lay down red science, and then I guess we'll put a cut in the episode there and resume when the Make Everything has caught up on beacon production. And in the meantime, I'll probably go back to the copper outpost and finish it off, because we kind of left it partly done. The new copper outpost to help the copper smelting 4 way out here in the west. So that's yellow science, this is green science. Oh, you're going to steal all the beacons down here, are you? Well, that's okay. You can have them. They've got to go somewhere. And we won't spend too much time on that part, because that's the extension for SpaceX science. We'll come up here into red science, and it's only a skeleton anyway, so it doesn't really matter at the moment. But yeah, we'll come up here into red science, let them lay down their machines. Until at least all the assembly machines have been laid down. Actually, while I'm standing still, we probably don't need the legs, and clearly the battery is getting flat, so pop those guys back in there. We are out of beacons on ourselves. I'm pretty sure there's tons back at the supply stop, but we can still usefully lay down track and assembly machines and inserters and logistic chests. Alright, I'm going to leave you guys here. Thanks for joining me. We've made good progress. It is going to take a little bit of time to get all of this done, but it'll be well worth it in the end, and very soon we'll be back to doing at least some science. See you then, guys. Bye bye for now.